Genesis 14, verse 1. At the time when Amraphel was king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasa, Chedorlaomer king of Elam, a coalition of kings wages war. Genesis 14, verse 2. These kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Bershah king of Gomorrah. 5 kings of the Jordan Valley opposed the 4 kings. Genesis 14, verse 3. All these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Dead Sea Valley. The battle takes place near the Dead Sea. Genesis 14, verse 4. For 12 years they had been subject to Chedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. The local kings rebelled against their oppressor. Genesis 14, verse 5. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Rephates. The invading kings conquer several peoples. Genesis 14, verse 6. And the Horites in the hill country of Seir. The conquests extend across the region. Genesis 14, verse 7. Then they turned back and went to En-Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites. The invading kings dominate the area. Genesis 14, verse 8. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, marched out and drew up their battle lines. The local kings prepare for battle. Genesis 14, verse 9. Against Chedorlaomer king of Elam, Tidal king of Goyim. The battle between the two alliances begins. Genesis 14, verse 10. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them. The local kings suffered defeat. Genesis 14, verse 11. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. The victorious kings loot the cities. Genesis 14, verse 12. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. Lot is taken captive. Genesis 14, verse 13. A man who had escaped came and reported this to Abram the Hebrew. Abram learns of Lot's capture. Genesis 14, verse 14. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household. Abram mobilizes his men for a rescue. Genesis 14, verse 15. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them. Pursuing them as far as Hobah, Abram achieves a surprise victory. Genesis 14, verse 16. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions. Abram rescues Lot and retrieves the looted goods. Genesis 14, verse 17. After Abram returned from defeating Chedorlaomer, and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him. Abram is honored for his victory. Genesis 14, verse 18. Then Melchizedek king of Salem brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High. Melchizedek blesses Abram. Genesis 14, verse 19. He blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. Melchizedek acknowledges God's blessing on Abram. Genesis 14, verse 20. And praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. Abram gives a tithe to Melchizedek. Genesis 14, verse 21. The king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself. The king of Sodom offers Abram the spoils. Genesis 14, verse 22. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord. Abram refuses to take the spoils. Genesis 14, verse 23. I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal. Abram seeks to ensure his integrity. Genesis 14, verse 24. I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten and the share that belongs to the men who went with me. Abram ensures fairness for his allies.